everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Work on YouTube. I'm your host, Rompe, and in this episode, we have a lot to talk about. There's so much that's happened over the last week since we made the last video, and again, I just want to say the Mets are in great position to get a lot done. Next week, December 2nd, is the start of what I believe will be some of the chips falling, depending on how things go. Still, coronavirus is something that a lot of people are just worried about. But there are going to be those teams that can survive the hit. The Mets, again, new owner. He has not lost a penny in the game of baseball to COVID-19. So, excluding them, there's a few clubs that will be out there looking to make some waves. Specifically, you're going to hear Trevor Story from the Colorado Rockies, Correa from the Houston Astros, Javi Baez from the Cubs, and Francisco Lindor from the Indians. Also, there's Corey Seager from the Dodgers, but I don't believe he's going anywhere. So let's begin with that. We have an exclusive, once in a lifetime, once in a generation class of shortstops that I don't believe any of them will be signing a contract extension right now. There's, with the exception of maybe 2, maybe 3, but I don't think with him. So one guy I know for sure will probably most likely sign an extension if one of their teammates get traded is Trevor Story. Trevor Story will get an extension if Nolan Arenado gets traded. There are rumors going around that the Colorado Rockies are looking to offload his contract, and there may be a few teams that can look to eat that money, but his situation is difficult. He has a no-trade clause, and he has an opt-out after the 2021 season. So I'm pretty sure he's not going to get traded unless it's to a team he's going to keep the opt-out. So basically, he won't opt out, and the team will have to pay that money. Because if he opts out, I just don't think, and this is a guy that's won a Gold Glove almost every single year he's been in there. Platinum Glove winner, all that. This guy is top of the line defense when it comes to the third base position. Matt Chapman is challenging that, but I mean, Nolan Arenado's 1-1 every year. Like, we like to talk about Mike Trout and his record with being in the top 3. Like, this is the first year that he wasn't, like he was 5th. Like, this is the first time that's ever happened. Every year since Mike Trout has been in the game, he's been top 3, top 2 in MVP. That's sick. That's crazy. So Nolan Arenado is the same thing defensively. There's also questions about if he can hit away from Coors Field. We all saw what happened with DJ LeMahieu. He was a good hitter in Colorado. He stepped away from Coors Field, lit it up with the Yankees, finished second in the MVP race. So, again, this is all within a 60-game season, and we can project what guys would do if their pace continues, but it's a 60-game season, and I'm not going to dog on the season because everybody put their heart out to really play this year. Those that really went on the field and laid it out on the line, they went in. They did what they had to do. So I'm sure there are guys that are going to get their chicken. They're going to get their chicken. DJ LeMahieu, Trevor Bauer, they're going to get their chicken. Where? We don't know. But we're going to talk about those. So again, another guy I think can get an extension and not make it to that free agent class next year is Francisco Lindor. If he gets traded to a team, I'm pretty sure they're not going to make the trade if they're not going to re-sign him. If he's not going to re-sign, I don't think they make that move. It's tough to really gauge that because you can't force a player to sign an extension if they don't want to. So you also got to consider, where does Lindor want to go? That's something that has to be considered, has to be talked about. Where does he want to go? Who does he want to play for? Because if you trade him somewhere where you get assets, but he doesn't want to really be there, and that's also another question. Like, how does the other team know before making the trade that he was going to want to be there? Like, you can't know. You can't go up to him and ask him unless, I guess if you get permission from Major League Baseball, from the ball club, but you can't really ask him. I don't think a ball club is going to allow you to speak to their player. I mean, that messes up their side of the deal, because if the player says no, then you can't get that money. So that screws you up. Also, there's a lot that's going to go with that Francisco Lindor deal, but my opinion, my prediction, I mean, everybody's calling it. It could always go to some other direction, but I just don't see it happening. But a lot of people are saying it's the Mets. It's very significant. Ahmed Rosario went and he went on IG Live, posted a video. A lot of people don't know Spanish. Some people who do, kind of just wrote it off and said it's nothing. But for me, I'm a Spanish guy. I know what happens when you talk. He was being sarcastic, but literally when you talking with your homies and he asks you, where you gonna be playing ball? He's like, I'm gonna be in Cleveland. Like, come on. Like, you don't just say that out of nowhere. Like, there's something going on. You listening to the voices, you listening to the chirping going on. So that's significant in my end. He's listening. He knows. He understands. And as he should. He did not play good this year. And every other year, it's been the same thing. It's slow starts and waiting. And I'm sorry, the Mets are not in any position to wait for Ahmed Rosario to really show his true colors. It's either he's that guy or we're moving on. And it's like that with everybody else. So that's another guy I believe will get an extension. Correa, I put him on the list, but as a maybe because he stuck his neck out a lot for the Astros, and I felt like not a lot of his teammates, probably, behind closed doors, and, maybe some did it publicly, but I didn't really see a lot of support behind, he really stuck his neck out to fight for his team, and I didn't really see a lot of support behind that. Maybe I missed it, but I really didn't see it. Maybe I'm different, but I just didn't see it that way. So, that's a maybe for me. That's definitely a maybe for me. Javi Baez is a possibility, but I'm hearing a lot of reports from a lot of people saying that the Cubs actually view him as, they kind of want to build around him and Rizzo. But there's a lot of guys that's going to be coming off the books for them. So they really got decisions to make. With Schwarber, Bryant, Rizzo, Javi, this is a team that is going to rebuild, but they're going to rebuild around key pieces. And I think those key pieces are going to end up being Anthony Rizzo and Javi Baez, because you can't lose those guys. You can't lose Chris Bryant either, but I hate the fact that he's taken a back seat as of late when the dude literally won an MVP the same year they won a championship. I mean, the Giants didn't do that to Buster Posey. You feel me? He won Rookie of the Year, MVP, and won 3 championships. Like, you feel me? Like, that's different. I understand Bryant hasn't won 3 championships, but he was a big part of it. So I feel like if anybody should get love, it should be him. He's won the MVP. He's helped them win a championship. I mean, not a lot of guys, except if you're LeBron James or Michael Jordan, a lot of guys don't win MVPs the same year they win a championship. Not a lot of guys do. And that's a rare feat. And he did that. So, gotta give him props. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but Posey, I think, is one, and Pedroia, I think, is another one. I could be wrong, but I know those guys, won MVPs and championships either the same year or back to back. You get what I mean? So, it's messed up, in my opinion, that they would do that. I just hope he doesn't go to the Braves. But it's messed up that they would think about trading him. But if you're gonna rebuild, you gotta move assets to get assets. So let's see what happens with the Cubs in that situation. But again, like I said, big shortstop class, free agent class. Think the Dodgers are gonna re-sign Corey Seager. He earned the contract. I say it like that. I know it doesn't happen a lot nowadays, but I feel like if anybody really earned the contract, just Justin Turner and Corey Seager. They earned their contracts. Now, they're going to get Mookie Betts type of money? No. But I think if you look at Corey Seager and you ask him, I mean, yeah, he wants to get paid like a top shortstop, but I just don't see the money there. Top shortstop money there. I don't think he's the elite of the elite. He's a Rookie of the Year. He's won World Series MVP. He's won an MVP. I mean, not an MVP. World Series MVP, Rookie of the Year. But you got to think about long term. And long term, they know how to draft well. They know how to scout well. So he's replaceable. Not like Cody Bellinger, who, Cody Bellinger is a, generational talent, once in a lifetime, generational talent, Gold Glove winner, freaking almost won another Gold Glove, freaking MVP, World Series champion. He almost won a World Series his rookie year. So, I mean, guy had the National League rookie home run record till my guy Pete Alonso broke it. So, Cody Bellinger is going to get his money. He's going to get paid top dollar. How they do it, I don't know. We'll see when they get there. But Corey Seager probably won't. And who am I to say? Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he goes to some other team that wants to pay him that kind of money, that feels that he's that good. But yeah, I think those guys deserve their money. All of them do. But it's crazy because the Rockies have to make a decision ASAP. And so do the Cubs. So we'll see what they have to do. Speaking about the Cubs, as you guys already know, their president of baseball operations and general manager, Theo Epstein, just resigned from the position. Listen, I'm not here to talk like, look, I'm not going to talk to you guys like you guys are kids. You guys are not children. There's a play here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does want to just sit back, be a humanitarian for a year, and then come back into a situation where, he can be that guy for long term. But I think of it like this. Sandy Alderson hasn't given a time frame how long he's going to be there. He said he'll give Steve Cohen time. He'll give him a couple years that he has, but he knows he's on the older side. Theo Epstein is on, the lower side. Listen, it's a match made in heaven. So, here's how the situation plays out. Theo Epstein wants a piece of a ball club. His next situation, he wants a piece of the team. So, listen. Steve Cohen has billions. He also has a day job. He will not be shy to go ahead, give Theo Epstein a piece of the pie. I mean, it's Theo Epstein, the guy's a legend. Give him a piece of the pie. He'll be there long term, right? I mean, what better situation presents itself? So, okay, even if it's a year from now, even if it's 3 years from, I don't care how long it's going to be. I just feel like the opportunity is there to sit down, talk to the man, have a conversation, give him time. Give him a week, give him 2 weeks. Today, Friday, is the day he's done. He's out the door. Monday, we'll talk. Maybe we'll talk after Thanksgiving. The Mets are in no rush. And Steve Cohen himself, in this tweet, said it. Bro, nothing's been done yet. Nothing has been set in stone. So, I think they have to hold out and see what he's going to do. Speak to the man. See what he's going to do. See what he wants. See what he would like. What would intrigue him to change his mind. If there's anybody that can, step into a room and talk you into running through a wall, that's Steve Cohen. So if Steve Cohen doesn't get to sit down in front of this man and talk and have a conversation, then he just doesn't want it. You get what I mean? And I don't blame him. He doesn't need to want it. But if Steve Cohen gets the opportunity to sit down in front of Theo Epstein and talk, I'm sorry. Game over. It's done. You can sign his name on a dotted line right now. It's over. So, he's a very determined man. He puts his foot down. He speaks. He puts his head forward. I mean, we have been clowned about the Bobby Bonilla deal forever. This man steps in and says, how about I do you one better? This man thinks that he's going to just dangle some money over this organization and get the last laugh. No. We'll drag your ass out of your house. We're going to bring you into the stadium and make sure that you get your flowers. Oh, you're going to get your flowers. You're going to get your parade. Every single year, we're going to give you your money on the field, celebrate you, because that's your money, right? Now, you're the fucking clown. So, I mean, you have to look at it, right? Things like that don't happen. He comes out, talks about the Bobby Bonilla thing, and that's big. That's big. That's something to really think about. It's not small, it's not little, it's just significant. He knows his audience. He knows who he's talking to. And I'm telling you, once the ball gets rolling, jaws are going to drop. That's a fact. Moving on. Best example, Robinson Cano. Idiot. Pure idiot. I mean, honestly, how dumb can you be? How dumb can you be? You could sit there and literally collect cash. All you had to do is just, get hurt and go away. Not play. But you want to, what are you doing? I don't even know what, that's the what. That's what you call that. A what the what. That's a boneheaded move. But this is also significant because in past years, if something like this happens, we're getting laughed at. We got egg all over our face. It's a joke. It's a mockery. Everybody's pointing their fingers and laughing. And it's so refreshing to have this happen and we get to laugh. We're pointing fingers at Cano and we're laughing at him. Looking at Yankee fans like, oh yeah, Mets are gonna Met. No, Cano is gonna Cano. And that's where we get saved because Cano is gonna Cano. And he's gonna canoe himself off this team, off this city, and out of here. Because it'll happen. Trust me, time will tell. It'll happen. Now he'll come back, try to collect his cash. But trust me, we'll send you on your way. Steve Cohen has spent more on wiping his butt with toilet paper than that Robinson Cano money. But he'll find a way to make Robinson Cano feel it before he shows him the way out the door. But that's nothing to worry about because we have $24 million available to spread all over the team. Relief pitching, starting pitching, maybe a catcher, maybe sign somebody long term. Hey, Conforto needs an extension. That's extension money right there. We're going to extend Noah Syndergaard if he shows us something. That's extension money right there. This is a team that's going to be competitive and is going to be good for a long time. So I want you guys to know that. When something like this happens and we sit back and we laugh, pop open a beer and just laugh about it, this is different times. This doesn't happen when it comes to the Mets. But it's happening now. It's where we are now. And I couldn't be any more happy. Couldn't be any more happy. There's also, so apparently some reporters went and they talked about the president search, and they said that the GM for the Indians was going to interview for that position. Steve Cohen shut it down. He said, I ain't hear nothing like that. So that's why I think nothing happens. Nothing happens and nothing will happen until next week when we get to sit down and we get to have a conversation with Theo Epstein. And it's not going to happen where everybody knows. No. They're going to sit down like grown men and they're going to talk. And I'm telling you, if it's a piece of the pie he wants, he can get. But take us to the promised land and you can have all the piece of pie you want. Just take us to the promised land. Pad to your legacy. Become the greatest executive to ever manage the game of baseball. Do it. It's the challenge. That's the only thing that will keep a man in that position for a long time. He's been at it for 20 plus years. So what else can drive a man to really, have a piece of the team like Brian Cashman? And not only that, run the whole show. Listen, Sandy Alderson's not going to be here forever. He said it himself. He didn't even put years on it. He said, I'll give him a couple years to just get the ship right, and then we'll focus on whatever we need to focus. So he's here to just make sure everything baseball-wise is working. Then once he's done, he's going to wash his hands, go home, retire. That's it. And if it's not Theo Epstein, it's going to be somebody good. So I'm not worried about it. But I know Theo Epstein is going to get that conversation. We're going to sit down, we're going to talk, and it's going to be what it's going to be. But we're going to sit down, we're going to talk. Mob style. For real. So I can't wait But things start ramping up. December 2nd is the non-tender date, so everything starts with that. We'll find out at that time who's going to be non-tendered, who's going to be a part of their ball clubs, who's going to be let go, who else is going to be added to this free agency class, and then the ball will get rolling. I know they've been talking to a couple guys here and there, peeking here, peeking there, seeing what's going on. I know a lot of guys are even coming to us, asking us what's going on, how we doing, what we want. So things are gonna get hot and heavy once the calendar turns. So just get your popcorn ready and hold on to yourself. Again, man, you guys already know I'm your boy Rompe, and this is the work on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us, subscribe, hit that bell to get the notifications, and also, while we're at it, don't forget to hop over to the podcast on Spotify and iTunes every single Friday. And this week, we have a very, very important guest, Emmy Award winning guest on the podcast. Can't wait for you guys to listen to that. So go listen to it right now. It's available wherever you get your podcast. And don't forget to come get this work. Thanks for watching The Work on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that bell after you subscribe to get the notifications. Also, like and please leave a comment. And lastly, don't forget to come get this work.